Hello and thanks for staying with us. Customs impound more goods for smugglers operating at the border. Also on customs reports, customs continue to implement the ICT program in all commands in the country. Plus, more report. I am Igiseme Itinye. Stay tuned. The Assistant Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service, in charge of ICT, has said that the program will enable the customs to fine-tune and increase revenue base in all commands in the country. He made the assertion when he visited Tinkan Island Customs Command in Lagos. The ACG said that the program will also further check fraud in the system.
The message is very clear. We're in the time of restructuring custom and remodeling for ultimate performance. And the place we have started is modernizing our clearance procedure, updating our system. Because over the years we noticed that there have been some gaps, revenue leakages, certain procedures. And we are now introducing NASIS 2. NASIS 2 is to address those gaps. So my presence here today, because Tinkan has been the third site command, we are introducing NASIS 2. So normally when you are doing this kind of implementation that has a marked difference in revenue collection, it is necessary for you to leave headquarters and come and parley with the area controllers to actually see that what you are intended to implement is what is happening. And today we came to check that both the structures and the application that's been introduced now to take away the legacy system is delivering as is intended. We have discussed with my controller here, and there's a lot of progress, but there's also some areas that we have seen that we are going to look into and make sure that it is at par with where we want to go. Because NASIS 2 is just a short-term process that we are doing. It's a holistic change in custom modernization, which we are looking at introducing at the end of the e-custom, which is the paperless custom environment. But we started with this to make sure that at least the aspect of revenue collection will tidy it up properly and make sure that the 2 trillion plus target that we are giving to ourselves will be achieved. That is one of the reasons to come here to confirm that what we intend to do, the management is approved we should do, it is what is happening. Because we did in KLT, it worked, the revenue increased, and we're in PTML, it worked, and I'm sure the area controller can attest to you that the difference, in statistical difference from the transaction that we had last year and what we have for the time of employment have improved drastically. At least we have almost about 24% or so increase in revenue that is generated within the same period comparative for last 2017.
So what will you be telling the freight forwarders operating here at Tinkan?
Yes, normally when there's change, there's always apprehension. But at the end, let me tell you, even the system we're changing from was not there before. Before we had long room, we were doing manual this thing, but now we upgraded from 2.7 to plus, and now this system, normally in IT world, system become a legacy, so you must always update it. So this is one of the, what I will tell the stakeholder that the world is becoming a globalized digital world. So if you want to be a trader and you want to be up to the game, you must also start learning how to do new things. Right now, e-commerce is coming. People are ordering things in the comfort of their houses on internet, and they are receiving deliveries. And this trade is increasing every year. Now, the volume of trade in developed countries in e-commerce is hitting the level of almost 60 million transactions in one day. So what we are seeing, the formal trade that we are trying to update now, will gradually give way to e-commerce. And that's one of the reasons why I'm saying that we have started the projection of trying to modernize and update our system to a newer system, that is NASIS 2, with the long-term vision of deploying what we call e-custom, which e-commerce is part of the module that will come under the e-commerce, a paperless environment.
While in Tinkan Customs Command, he also visited the ongoing projects in the command, saying that the project will further create room for better understanding of custom matters at the port.
We have trained officers and we are still training officers. And you know, in our deployment here, what we normally do, we don't just come to deploy the system. We come ahead, train the stakeholders, train the officers so that they will understand clearly before we now introduce the application. This was done here in Tinkan before it was introduced. I was in Apapa, as you rightly said, because we're moving to Apapa now. Apapa is being prepared and training is going to commence on Monday for both the stakeholders and the officers. This is to make sure that we are not ambushing anybody, but we are making sure everybody understands clearly what is being deployed. Stakeholder management is part of our strategy of deploying a new system.
The Customs Area Controller in charge of Tinkan Island Customs Command has been speaking on the ICT program in his command.
You are all aware of the NISIS implementation. Tinkan Island Command is committed to transformation of our revenue collection and reporting system with the implementation of the NISIS 2, which is an upgrade of NISIS 1 with additional functionalities. As part of the specific gains with the implementation, we have the biometric access system now running. We are introducing a one-stop shop which will enable treatment of declaration with valuation, classification, and other related clearance issues, that is query. In the meantime, the renovation of the space for the one-stop shop is in progress. So, automation of cargo examination and assignment process, where examining officers or examination officers are assigned examination automatically. This is designed to ensure transparency in the inspection system and prevent connivance. The vehicle valuation system is being further improved with the attachment of valuation note issued so that the note is attached to the STD in the system. This will enable a quick verification of assessment and duty payment. Instead of having to go back to valuation, go and verify those it is there in the system. So the releasing officers are given this opportunity to look at the declaration, look at the valuation note issues, and then do a verification, and issues are resolved within minutes. Ultimately, the full automation of vehicle valuation system will soon be achieved. Well, Tinkan Island Port, as part of what we do, is not import, and export. We also have export. So the federal government, we are all aware of the federal government initiative on export, especially the agricultural commodities. This is beginning to yield results. Agricultural product export amounted to about 38,517 metric tons. That is in volume. The FOB value of the export is about 22.435 billion. Processed and manufactured goods stand at about 6,945 metric tons. FOB value of the export amounted to about 6.711 billion. For the period under review, about 45,462 metric tons of export goods were exported through Tinkan Island Port. FOB value stand at about 29.146 billion. When compared with the same period, 2017, where we had about 8,140.6 metric tons with FOB value of about 7.246 billion. So there's appreciable improvement in the export to the tune of about 558.46% in terms of volume, and then 402.24% in terms of FOB value. So you can see there's appreciable improvement in the volume and value of export carried out through Tinkan Port.
You are watching the program Customs Report. The Customs Area Controller in charge of Murtala Mohammed International Airport has said that the airport will continue to implement measures that will improve the service. The controller made the remark when he addressed officers at the airport, urged them to continue to improve the revenue generation and also proper discipline. At the monthly parade ground, she also warned officers against accepting consignments without proper documentation.
We know the mandate of the CGC, the 3 R's. We are here for revenue. The Nigerian Customs Service is a reform service that everybody should be very pleased to key into. Most of the examination officers, I think I have to address you. Please put in your best when it comes to examination. Examination is meant to be 100% and not 30%. When you don't do a proper examination, you're putting your releasing officers into problem. And I'm not sure any one of you here wants to put your senior officer into problem. Because whatever you do here is seen over there. I wouldn't want any one of my officers to get into trouble unless you so desire to put yourself into trouble. Then in that case, I wouldn't have a choice. I want us to work in this command as a team, as a family, to achieve our goal. We are here for revenue generation. This command has been given a target. We have a monthly target, which we have to meet. But how do we meet this if our officers are not diligent? You go for examination, you just write on your examination reports, 3 packages. 3 packages of what? You need to be specific. You need to help the command in the revenue generation. I can't do it on my own. I need all of us to work as a team to achieve this. And I pray that the Lord God Almighty will touch every one of us so we know the purpose for which we are here, and He will help us to attain it in Jesus' name. I want to congratulate all those that were promoted. We haven't met, though I decorated some of you. I want to congratulate you and also let you know that hard work counts. You might think, oh, why do I have to work hard? Do it. Because at the end of it all, it stands you out. Your hard work will stand you out. In a parade like this, we're supposed to bring out our outstanding officers. I think from the next parade, the sectional heads, because they are the closest ones to you, will be able to give me the names of outstanding officers who will be rewarded. And this will also motivate others to work very hard. I want to address the female officers because I don't think when it comes to dressing, I really have a problem with the men. There is a dress code from the headquarters. You're not supposed to be at work with long wigs on your head. You're not even supposed to use attachment on your head. You're supposed to have your natural hair, either braided or combed and binded. And whatever makeup, well, today I'm happy that I didn't see so much makeup today. Whatever you do, even if it's a white powder, brown one, or whatever, everything has to be in moderation. You are all beautifully made, wonderful creature from God. So I think when he created all of you, he said you were good. So there's no one who is ugly here. Just do everything you have to do in moderation.
She further speaks on discipline.
Then discipline. I'm somebody that does not tolerate indiscipline. Even if you're from the same womb with me, I will not tolerate indiscipline. Because we are in a discipline service. Most officers just think they can do whatever they feel like doing. If you want to do that, then you have to remove your uniform and be a civilian completely. But you are in a paramilitary service. Others need to see you and know that, yes, these are really disciplined people who have been trained. People must learn from you. People must emulate you. The custom officer of today should be a custom officer where people will see and long to join the service. Long to join the service, not for the perception that the service was in the past perceived to be. Today in the Nigerian Customs Service, it's not business as usual. We are here to serve the public and to serve the world. The CGC does not tolerate indiscipline. You all know where he's coming from. A military background, a discipline officer, a military police officer. You know he will not tolerate any discipline. The last meeting we had in Abuja, we, the area controllers, were told we were not reporting erring officers. And he was going to hold us responsible if we don't. Because most of the things our officers do, he hears from others outside. And he wants us to report the officers who are not compliant. Does any one of us want to leave the service before it's our time? I don't think so.
The Ogun State Customs Area Command has again generated a total of 437 million naira in the month of May. The controller speaks on the seizure made by his command.
I'm happy to inform you that within the period under review, we will be able to collect a revenue totaling 437 million 860 naira 681 naira only for the month of May 2018. On the anti-smuggling front, we have done very well. We have made total seizures of 51 vehicles, comprising 19 Tokumbo, which includes a 2018 Ford Ranger, valued at about 64 million. It's actually 2018-2019 release. It was being smuggled across our bush pass, and we apprehended it. We equally had 32 seizures of means of conveyance. What we mean is that if you seize goods, the vehicle that was used to convey those illegal products are normally seized along, going by the provision of SEMA, which is our guiding principle.
You also speak on seizure made by his men as regards to rice importation into the country.
In the period also, rice, you know, I have told you, has become a problem. The Nigerian government wants to improve local production, but the smugglers are bent on working against that, thwarting it. But we are equal to the task. We told them that it cannot be done. We will take the fight to them. And in the period under review, we have seized 5,103 bags of 50 kg each of rice, foreign rice. In the period also, we seized 135 kegs of vegetable oil, 33 bags of sugar, 102 kegs of PMS. I think equally second-hand clothing, we have 76 bales have been seized, including second-hand shoes, second-hand ladies' handbags, and even new ones that were uncustomed. So in the period, you can see from what we have done well, and we'll continue to do that. We have warned the smugglers. This is a red flag for them. They should desist from the nefarious activities and allow our own local industry to grow. We cannot grow employment in another country. We are all sad that a lot of unemployed youths are bound in Nigeria, yet we empower other countries instead of our own. So we are equal to the task. The government is equipping us. If you see outside, you see an armored personnel carrier. It was just allocated to my command. They have equally sent us a truck, which will ease evacuation of seizures. And we're expecting some patrol vehicles. So with all this, I know that Ogun has become too hot for them. They should desist and change and become patriotic. We are converting every available space due to the recent onslaught we are waging on smugglers of rice. So all this rice you are seeing is almost the size of a big warehouse, but we are looking for space, and very soon we'll transfer them from here so that this place can be used for the purpose it's meant for. But we cannot, because of space, stop fighting smuggling. We must carry out the exercise and must seize whatever we find. So you can see that is why we have utilized this place. And you can imagine the quantity. And what you are seeing here is not just all. We still have quantities of rice in Abeokuta, because we have our head office at Abeokuta too. This is our operational headquarters. So this rice I'm showing you is just the seizures made within Idiroko axis.
In the process of this seizure, did your men have a encounter with some of the smugglers?
Yes, most of the time we don't. It's not a birthday party. The anti-smuggling is like war in this area. Most of the time, you used to mobilize to attack us, but we form a synergy with the military.
Just before we draw the curtain on this week's edition of the program Customs Report, we brought you a report where the area controller in charge of Muritala Mohammed Airport says that the command will continue to implement rules as approved by the management of Nigerian Customs Service. For me, Igiseme Itinye, thanks for watching.